thinking about it. How can you? You need
I
help,
think there's still a lot of shame tied to sex work.
huh?
I really believe. I think there's still a lot of shame tied to sex work. A lot of women are still, and men are still in secret about sex work.
I
We
don't know
had a
why.
commenter, huh?
I don't know why they would be. Why? I mean, we're all prostitutes to the system anyway. Shit.
To something or somebody.
Yeah, why give it up for free? I mean, I'm not gonna penalize them for doing what they gotta do, but also, I mean, I don't get the assistance part just because that's kind of, I mean, I guess it's not an easy job, but
I mean, how you gonna tax it though? Like, honestly, y'all, when I say I've thought about this, I got a lot of questions. So, like, is the session over after you finish, or like if you still got 15 minutes in your hour? I mean, what you do?
I think
Every orgasm is a 8.25%, or what? I mean,
Okay, can I chime in? I can't. I'm only getting a few words of what you guys are saying. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. But the reason that I brought this to the table was because AOC, the representative in New York, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, actually tweeted because a lot of women who are doing OnlyFans are actually being penalized by their real jobs, like. So these are women who are behind a paywall, right? So you have to pay to see them doing whatever it is that they're doing. But somehow somebody at their job has found out that they are doing OnlyFans. And they are losing their jobs because of it. So AOC actually tweeted like, listen, sex work is work. And honestly, we're at a point economically that we have never been at before. Like, we have never seen this type of economic devastation. So if it's something that women can do to make some extra money, they really shouldn't be penalized for it. And I wholeheartedly agree with her. For one, you can't be a sex worker without patrons. So obviously there's some type of demand, right? I also think that it's really dangerous that sex work is criminalized. I mean, think about how many young women are out there on the streets doing sex work, and they are being pimped by relentless, ruthless men. They're being killed and kind of discarded. And I mean, a lot of rapists and murderers target sex workers because they know that they are kind of discarded by society. So, I mean, me personally, I'm just kind of like, if it's not hurting anybody, as long as you're not like hurting any children or animals, I really don't see why it's such a big deal and why it's illegal.
so what's happening to the patrons that are going back and reporting that, oh, I saw Lucretia on OnlyFans? Are they getting in trouble also, or is it just me?
No.
And what's
Just
sad about it,
no.
in order to see you on OnlyFans, they have to have
They
paid
gotta be on there. So, I mean, so okay, it's wrong for me to be on there, but you can come and watch what I'm doing.
And I don't know what the
Exactly.
difference is
obviously
between
you had
like
to have paid for it.
Huh?
Obviously, they had to have paid for it to see exactly what they were doing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I don't see what the difference is between like an OnlyFans and like someone working in a strip club and things like that. Because it's my understanding, I know that some things may happen in the strip club, but it's my understanding that there's not even any sexual contact involved in that. And so,
Thank you, DJ.
because as I'm thinking of like sex work, I was thinking of actual like intercourse. You know what I'm saying? I see like OnlyFans and strip clubs and things like that being actually kind of harmless as long as the person doing it is over 18, the person watching it or engaging in it is over 18. I don't see what the harm is. I actually feel like it should be legal to be able to do actual intercourse, sex work for those women. I feel like it needs to be in a controlled environment. Like I know they do, like in some of the Vegas areas, I know they have like, if I'm not mistaken, like a bunny ranch or something
Brothels.
like that. They can be taxed because if I'm not mistaken, you pay by the amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have a problem with that kind of environment. I wouldn't engage in it because y'all know I'm a little square, but I don't have a problem with that. A little bit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I I don't have a problem. I think it's a controlled environment. I think it keeps the women like more safe. DJ, you're talking about $40 covers anything. Well, if all you have is $40, maybe you need to go on OnlyFans and go that route.
Right.
Because I don't think
there's definitely men on OnlyFans.
The women that would give it up to you for $40, I don't think you want to touch.
Listen, DJ said drop your OnlyFans. I don't have one, but I might. I mean,
what you paying?
Somebody
DJ?
put a comment on there and talking about 5 and 6 figures.
Okay, hello, right? People paying off homes.
A little different now. That's
yeah.
Like, what do I sign up for that OnlyFans page if it's that much?
Right.
I just turn around and bend over once or twice. I can.
You gonna be dropping it for Starbucks?
Dropping it low for Starbucks.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
but no, I think it would be kind of fun. Like I kind of think out of the box. Like for me, I'm not that performer. Now don't get me wrong, I don't have an issue with what I look like or whatever, but I'm not the one to be on OnlyFans. But as an alter ego, I could put on a mask and a wig, and get out of my box for a little bit and see what happens. I don't think it would be me every day. Now, since I do work for a Christian organization, I would be very intrigued to know who's reporting on me.
Right.
Because everybody in there is married.
Okay.
Except for me.
Well, Shantae brought up a really good point, and she said that she feels like the patrons should be the one who are penalized. Because if there's no demand, then there's no reason for you to even be doing it, which makes more sense. But
I mean, this is the oldest profession. I mean, this way, way, way back.
Right. I mean, but not for nothing. Y'all know me, and you know my keyword, misogyny. Because I mean, seriously, you penalizing women for having sexual desires or even being sexual, but you give women value when they are sexy. So like, what is the truth? Like, is a woman only valuable if she's sexy, or like, is she like bad girl, don't do that? You know what I mean? Like, what's the truth? So
can I play devil's advocate a little bit though? Let's just be real.
Okay.
I work in a professional business. I'll just say, even if I do what I do now, and I've been on OnlyFans, dropping it low and spreading it wide, for everybody to see. And then I go to work the next day, and let's say my CEO has noticed me on OnlyFans doing this. I have to agree that could be a little uncomfortable for him, because and say maybe some of the patients or the patient's family members, because they may stereotype me, right or wrong. They could be completely wrong about me, but I can see that making an individual uncomfortable, or them saying that that's not the face they want associated with their business. So while I agree that if that's what you want to do, and if that's what you'd like to do, you should be able to do that and not be judged. And especially if it's OnlyFans, because no one even touching you, because we all know women who they hold and give it up for free. You know what I'm saying? So OnlyFans, no one's even like touching you. So I don't have a problem with that, but I just also think that person would also have to consider the consequences.
Right.
Devin, I think that CEO would probably slide in that inbox and put you a little note in your paycheck. Like
that would be a problem too, because then I could say you're sexually harassing me, but you've seen me.
That's where I think it's gonna go.
Because he would be like, I never knew you could put your leg behind your head like that, Devin. And then I would be like, but wait a minute.
Now hold on a second. I only did that on my OnlyFans.
I'm just here to give you the vaccine. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So so we would just have to think of those type of consequences of doing that. So I'm, playing devil's advocate, but I definitely agree that sex work is actually work and should be recognized at work, but it should be done in a controlled and safe environment with people who are of age.
DJ, I don't know. I don't know if
it is private.
It is private?
Yes,
okay.
It is.
Yes. It is private?
It's private.
Devin, get your blessings.
DJ. It take a lot for me to get my blessings. I have a lot of letting my hair down I'd have to do before I can get any of that.
Girl, you're going to need 2 bottles, and we're not even going to go there. We'll talk about that when we have our Dallas meetup, because,
Any other comments on this topic, ladies? Any other thoughts?
No, I was kind of with you. Like you suffer the consequences. And then, of course, supply and demand. If there was no demand for it, then you wouldn't been able to supply it. So I don't think penalizing OnlyFans patrons or the people that participate
performers
to be I
don't. So what about the other site? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. It's the yellow square. Whatever it is, it's a porn site. What? Who?
Pornhub.
Yeah. So what about
you can actually send your video to, like, you could be, what is it, the amateur films? So you can send your own sex tapes to Pornhub and they'll pay you for it.
They will pay you for it.
See, when we started talking about this, I started asking questions, and a friend of mine was like, "What's the difference in that and Pornhub?" And he was like, "I can go on Pornhub. I think he said he paid like $10 a month and watch all he wants." So I was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know that." So I was like, "I don't think it's any difference. Actually, I mean,
there's no difference.
Yeah,
it's just about control. They want to control our bodies. Okay."
The thing about recently too, Pornhub was actually in the news because they actually got rid of 80% of their content. A lot of people were uploading things that were against their privacy policy. So people were uploading like revenge porn, and like there was no way to control what was being uploaded. So now Pornhub only features content that is produced by their professional partners and by people who personally send their submit and sell their image to Pornhub. So you can't just randomly upload.
What is revenge porn? Like somebody is secretly recording me having sex?
You and your man doing the do, he gets mad at you because you leaving for the next door neighbor. And so he sends your stuff to Pornhub to get back at you. That's actually against the law, actually.
Yes, it is. It's against the law.
But it happens.
That's some butthurt micro mini. Okay.
DJ said he's starting a TFG, ladies. Let's get this money.
If I own any video with anything showing, you better believe I'm collecting 100% of the profit. I ain't paying now. Nobody.
Okay.
We not. Because I was thinking I could be the madam, but I guess not. I mean,
listen, if they pay, this is what they're gonna see. This is gonna be the screen. They're gonna pay, and this is gonna be us talking.
They gonna be real mad that they
real mad.
These ladies ain't showed nothing.
Misogyny. Right, they could be like, "Can we get a refund? This is not working. Not what I signed up for." But on a better note, which I'm more looking forward to because it doesn't involve me having to do anything extra, and I can show my face. Apparently, tomorrow we are going to be gaining superpowers.
Because I put my cape on.
Visit Saturn and Jupiter.
Yes.
Going to Aquarius.
Yes.
Every 400 years, and the chosen people, develop superpowers. Does this happen at midnight, or is it on Central Standard Time?
We ask questions.
How will I know when I can get this superpower? I don't know, ladies. What do you think, Courtney?
So you hit the nail on the head. So basically every 400 years, Jupiter and Saturn actually align from the Earth's point of view in the Aquarian, I guess, belt of stars. And that only happens every 400 years. And apparently there's a verse in the Bible that says that God's chosen people who were lost will be found after 400 years, etc. So some people interpreted that to mean that Black people would get superpowers on the 21st. I did do some research, and I did find that that tomorrow is the 400-year anniversary of the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock. Weird enough. But as far as Black people with superpowers, I mean, I'm here for it. As far as I know, from an African traditional religion standpoint, it's more so about being in tune with your abilities and your ancestors, like your spiritual abilities. But there's many different takes on it. But if I had a superpower, it would be unlimited money. Like I would just be able to like snap my fingers and money would appear. I think that would just be my superpower.
Cha-ching! That's nice. Rue, what's your superpower?
Okay, that's kind of like the Midas touch, when he started touching stuff and everything turned to gold. Then there was no way out of it. He turned his family to gold, and he turned his pets to gold, and he turned all his servants to gold, and then he didn't have nothing but gold. So
nothing but gold. Well, no, I just want to
wants to control people with control people with her mind.
Huh?
Shantae wants to control people and with her mind.
That would be a very dangerous power for me to have. I will
stay away from Miss Shantae.
So
it'd be a lot of folks like the Marvel movie, like the blink, and like half of the world would be, we would blink, and y'all would be like, "What happened to such and such?" Oh, Kyle Lucretia, she done blink. Exactly, she blinked them away.
Right.
I have my Marvel cup today for that.
I love it.
Are you gonna be an Avenger, Rue?
Wait, I gotta go this way. My Marvel cup.
I love it.
Girl, this is a Marvel's house over here.
Yeah. So I grew up. I love freaking superheroes. So I always said that if I had any superpower, it was gonna be I was gonna be a mimic. So
okay.
Yeah, so a mimic was like a copycat. So I would be able to shapeshift. I would be able to adopt like badass martial arts skills. I could hack into anything because all I'd have to do is look at a computer or watch it on TV, and then I could just run through and do it. So I wanted to be a copycat. Pretty simple.
I love it.
What do you want, Devin?
I actually want to be able to go back in time and redo or undo things. Like I would go back like several years and buy stocks in Apple for like
right.
I
can't with DJ.
You said DJ said you want a woman's credit score?
Yeah, I do that too. I buy stock in Apple. I would go back and invent something like Google or StreamYard. I would go back and undo the men in my life that I wasted my time that I can't get with.
Buy some stock at OnlyFans.
Buy OnlyFans stock. I do. Yes. And then
I go back and forth. I
be like, y'all.
I love to read.
I know what to do tomorrow. Y'all better follow my lead. So yeah, that's how that would go. Lucretia with superpower.
I think I want to be either Phoenix or the younger one's called a Raven. We called him a Sea. So one of them that I want those powers. Like I actually have a tattoo of a Phoenix. But that's where I want to be. Just give me one day of like Oprah. I'm just going to the bank. And look, she's not even gonna miss what I take because I don't want a whole lot. I just want to be comfortable. I need a couple of city blocks with a fence. Give me my house. Let me move my family out there and don't bother me. Like I'm gonna come out when I want to come out. And yeah, that's what I want to be. And if these powers expire,
be Oprah. Like when it's time,
I don't want to be Oprah.
Identity back, I wouldn't want to give it back. Then she'd be upset with me.
I like how
they can have it back.
I like how all of our powers involve
money,
of stealing some shit or taking some shit.
Y'all criminals.
We're criminals.
Brittany wants to be able to throw fire at people.
Like the light is green. Go,
Brittany. I got some oil for you. I'm gonna have to like anoint my phone because you.
I know, right? And I also am like Brittany. Where how do we know that we're the chosen people? How do we know it's not the Jewish people?
Girl, it's Twitter. I don't know. I told y'all I don't make it rain. I just report the weather.
But the Jewish people already have everything. Like
right.
So much money.
I had never heard that we were getting superpowers until you introduced it.
So I think part of it too is going back to the timeline of the 400 years, like what was happening with us 400 years ago. So I think that's where part of the mythology comes from. But I also think on a more serious note that we've just been having. I mean, we've always had a rough time, but like this last summer, these last couple years have been really rough. And I know that people create mythologies and they create stories sometimes as a release. So I mean, I almost kind of feel like that's sort of what this is. It's kind of like a moment of black joy, like something that's happy for us, right?
Well,
Slim
Jim,
Jim
they said 21st, so
I need them stat too.
Right.
They said 21st.
Is this on our time? Is it New York time?
Girl, if it's CC time, we'll get it next week.
I'm saying it's on East Coast time, and it's just gonna like roll through like the world. I'm gonna say we're gonna start here just because I'm on the East Coast.
Like the way my luck goes, I'm gonna be asleep when they rolling through, and like part of it, you're gonna have to be woke or something. I'm gonna be asleep. Next week, all y'all gonna be in here, with your superpowers. Y'all gonna be like, LaCrisha, what happened?
Well, I claim that
that's my life.
It's gonna be great for all of us. I just see many great things happening. So if y'all are like me and LaCrisha and you sleep through it, we can just.
But see, somebody gonna have the power to go back in time, so we'll be able to like go back and then like tap you on the shoulder, like, "Hey, girl, you might want to."
One of y'all got to get that power. Devin wanted that power. She gonna be asleep with me,
but she gonna be asleep. So somebody in the comments, somebody gonna have the time manipulation.
I'm gonna be sleeping in a bad mood. Quit bothering me. You see, I'm sleep. Just missed out on.
Yeah,
so this is that ginger ale with the cranberry in it. It's not good. Oh. Don't buy this one.
Okay, so in terms of maybe a realistic perception of it, could it possibly be maybe a heightened sense of awareness?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people are saying.
I don't get my shape-shifting ability. I would like to know that maybe something tomorrow will click for me that maybe hadn't clicked before.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'll become a little bit more self-aware than what I have. Or you could, humans are creatures of habit. Maybe we realize a pattern that we individually have, and that way we can stop our, generational curses.
Well,
I'm looking at it from that.
It's actually the age of Aquarius, though. Like this whole phenomenon, this astrological thing is actually the age of Aquarius. And I'm sure that everybody has heard something about the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? Y'all heard of that. So like the age of Aquarius is supposed to represent, Aquarius is the water bearer. They're an air sign. So, they're very elevated, very fluid in the things that they do. And they do tend to have higher understanding or better perception of their environment. So I think, me personally, that's what that I can't with
DJ. We done changed topics.
DJ, we in the age of Aquarius. DJ,
we talking about superpowers now, sir.
I can't.
You hear me? I said with the minion on the bed. That's real sexy. I got Look, Kingy, he like.
But you did come out with your blonde, so I mean,
right?
Mm-hmm.
She is,
and your Avengers mug. So you like already a superhero. I mean,
yes.
I try to be.
On a tattoo.
maybe so. Any other comments or thoughts or opinions on that topic, ladies?
What is Fifth Dominion?
Yeah, what's that about? I just saw that flash. What was that about, Slim Jim?
I want to see the answer.
He's gonna have to come in and tell us what that one is.
Right.
Fifth Dimension or Fifth Dominion?
I thought it said Dimension.
I don't know what it may have said. Dominion. I don't know, but I hadn't heard Dominion.
It's back. What does that mean?
Fifth Dominion.
Is it a song? Is you got the little G class?
Maybe that's what it is. We may need to Google. Maybe he can let us know kind of what that is as we get into this next topic. Last week we did a little bit about alpha and beta, and things like that. And now we're going to go into a little bit different direction as far as like gender roles and feminine, traditions. I think in 2020, not just 2020, the last few years, I've noticed a lot of things are changing with like gender roles, things of that nature. And I'm probably different than most or some when it comes to that. But let me see what you ladies think about it. LaCrisha, gender role.
Well, I'm pretty sure some of you are surprised. I'm very old school. Some of these gender roles don't bother me. That's how I was raised. I saw my mama get up every morning and cook breakfast for my dad before he left and went to work. She cooked dinner every night. Now, when she her work schedule changed, she didn't cook as much. But I saw all that. I never heard my mom ask for something more than twice. Like the first time my dad may not have heard it, but the second time he definitely heard it. So the guys that I date, our roles are shaped like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if my car is dirty and your car is clean, I got an issue with that. Because if I'm cooking and you coming over here and eating, why is my car dirty? You know, even my son, he's 15, but and I didn't even tell him this, but he took it upon himself. He takes the trash out. It's 3 of us. It's me, and I have 2 girls and 1 son. The women don't touch that. I am teaching him to cook because I want all of my children to be sufficient when they leave my house. But I definitely am pro some of the gender roles. It depends on who's trying to enforce the gender roles. I can't stand when jerks try to enforce the gender roles. They're like, oh, I'm a man, you got to listen to me. Nah, that's not how that works. You didn't read all of Corinthians. You just took that one little part. That's it. No, read all of it and then come back and talk to me. I do think a lot of my agreeing with some of the gender roles has to do with my background being brought up in the church. And, you know, my parents have been married almost 40 years. My grandparents were married until both of them died. So, I mean, that's what I saw. I saw my mom, my grandma, my aunts taking care of the house. I saw my dad and my uncles taking care of outside. And in my dating life, it's still the same for me.
So it's not the same for a lot of people in this generation because yeah, I've heard there's been like especially with the alpha and beta, you have the traditional alphas that think that okay, a woman's place is anything to do with the house. So that's the kids, that's the dishes, that's the nurturing part. And then the man handles, of course, the finances. He handles the cars. He makes sure both cars are gassed up. He takes out the trash. He does the lawn, all that stuff. But because women nowadays are encouraging this very, I want my man to do this. I want my man to do this. I want my man. They're not taking a second to look at themselves and actually looking at what they're bringing to the table. Because we already have a song that says, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring. And it's like, what are you doing though?
And she also got a lot of side chicks.
Yeah.
Relationship.
I'm like, okay, maybe, I don't even think it's even about being old school or new school. It has to do with these people really don't know their partnership. Like how you're actually supposed to be a partner to each other. The only reason why we had those traditional roles is because we were stronger in some aspects than the other. And now women, we work, we have the ability to be self-sufficient, unlike back in the day where the mom would stay home. Like, so now we're feeling like, well, I don't need you. So
yeah, I think a lot of us, we lost how to be soft and feminine when we were trying to gain our independence, and we got confused with strong and hard. I have a lot of friends who don't know you can be a strong woman and not be hard. Like, you don't have to take on all of those masculine aspects. Yeah, I run my house. I run my house because I'm single. Yes, I run 2 departments at work, but that's my job. Do I want to run 2 departments at work and come home and run my house? No, I don't. But right now I'm single, so that's what I do. I adapted. But trust me, Rue, when he's here, I don't run my house. I have no problem stepping back and saying, here are the keys, you do this. But he has to show me that I can step back and I can relax. He has to show me that he can lead me past the paper bag. Some men feel like just because they got a penis, they're elite.
So my godparents were married for 40 years until my godmother passed away. So they got married in 1957, and they did not have a gender specific, like gender traditional relationship. So like my godfather, he taught me how to cook. Like he was the one who handled all the cooking, and my godmother taught me how to balance a checkbook and like finances and things like that. So I mean, that's just 2 examples, but there were plenty of different things. I think when you are in a partnership, me personally, I think it can't be about enforcing, well, you're the man, so you do this, and you're the woman, so you do this. It's a partnership. Who's better at it? And that's why they lasted for so long. And I agree with you, Lucretia. Listen, I'm definitely like taking care of my own business and doing what I gotta do and doing my own thing. I don't have a problem stepping back and letting somebody come in my life and help me out with that quote unquote lead. But you can't come in and be like less proficient at leading than I am. Because if I'm better at it, then I'm doing it. Point blank, period. And that's just it. I'm still loving, I'm still kind, I'm still soft, I'm still feminine, but like as far as like who is the leader, like if you can't lead better than me, I'm not gonna let you lead me off a cliff either. You know what I mean? So
but DJ had a comment. Pull it back up if you can, Shantae. Too much entitlement going on from both genders. We got to close Instagram and tend to our potential mate. I'm shocked to hear that from a man, but I do appreciate the statement.
So I think that again, with the partnership, there was a way it was set up before. So now that it's not set up that way before, men have a certain expectation, but women are like, well, I can do everything by myself. So therefore, what do you think that women are supposed to be thinking that their man is expecting of them? Because if we're just supposed to be feminine, that's not explaining anything. Mm-hmm. Like, well,
I mean, to me, femininity is about, like I was talking about before, like us being in the age of Aquarius and having that elevated sense of perception and that elevated sense of nurturing and being able to kind of step outside the situation and say, okay, so you might be able to handle it logistically, but I'm going to help you handle it emotionally. To me, that's what being feminine is about. It's about tapping into your, I guess I have, for lack of a better word, your matriarchal side, or like your mothering, that natural nurturer side, and expressing your femininity in that way. I'll give you a perfect example. My sister is like the biggest tomboy on the planet. Okay. Like she dressed literally like a boy until she was like 21. Like people used to mistake her for a boy. But when I tell you she is like the perfect housewife, like she is so like, my husband's meal is on the table when he comes home. I'm raising the kid. We're doing homeschooling. I go to my spa appointments and whatever. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if femininity is so much a outside state as it is a inner thing for me.
So when you're talking about somebody being feminine, like feminine energy versus masculine energy, energy is drive. Feminine energy is more the thought process of it. So usually when you're talking about that dynamic, the male will be action and the female will be the thought. So he puts it into motion. She puts the thought into his head. So I'm looking at it like when I think feminine, like I rarely have feminine energy. And the reason why I don't have feminine energy is because my masculine energy is motivation. Like I have to go. I am on go 24/7. So I know
Can I tell you though, I don't agree with that, Rue. I think you're very feminine. I think that femininity, like when you think of a woman and you think of what a woman does, a woman is a creator. We are the drivers. Like I think that Eurocentric patriarchy will have you believe that women are subservient. And like I think about it. No, we are literally the motivation for everything.
But I'm not saying it as feminine being submissive or subservient. I'm saying feminine is the thought. It is creation, but momentum is masculine. That's drive. So you can when women are saying, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. The man's masculine energy is the man putting it into motion, actually having it done, is what I'm saying. Do you get it?
I agree with what I actually agree with what you're saying, Rue. I get what you're saying, and I'm real big on that masculine and feminine energy as well. And I don't believe it has anything to do with being a male or a female, but and also like Lucretia, I'm kind of old school in a lot of my ways with some of the gender roles. I'm not real big on feminine traditions. I don't know about a lot of you, but I bet you, I know Lucretia could probably relate to me. But when I listen to old school women and how they took care of their men and their role in that house and what you're supposed to do for this man, I would see some of them. They made sure they had that meal hot on that stove by the time he got home. They ran bath water. They would say things like, you don't ever deny your man sex. If your man wants to have sex, that's you need to give it to him. If you deny him, then you can't say anything. If he goes out and gets it from somewhere else, like a lot of that old school stuff, I'm not here for it. I believe you can be on your back all day, every day, and if he wants to go with Susie Q, he's going because he's trash. Okay, so I don't. Did women ever rub feet, Lamar? I'm sorry. I don't touch feet. Now I don't like feet because I'm new school in some way. I'll take you to the nail salon with me, and we can go get pedicures together.
A little pedicure, right? There you go.
You won't even give him a massage
on the shoulder.
I bought a massager for that, and I'll hold it and go up and down. Lucretia, don't judge me. So. Because I love him and he loves me too. But I'm good with gender roles, but if a man says to me, if he comes in the house and he sits down and looks at me like, why don't I smell anything? And I'll be like, what do you mean? Why don't you smell anything? There's nothing cooking because you didn't turn on the stove. But that's just my attitude. But at the same time, if he came to me and said, hey, babe, do you mind going to cook that such and such dish you make that I really like? I'm like, oh, I don't mind. And I'll just so happily get up, and I don't mind that. My problem is when it's expected. Because I bring it in.
I'm a little cookie like that. Like, if we're in a committed relationship, I'm yours and you're mine. I love to cook. Cooking is a stress relief for me. So I'm going to text you every day and say, I've prepared this meal, come by, get it. Or, if he works nights, come in the morning, and this is your lunch or whatever. I'm also that same woman that don't expect me to cook. Just because I can doesn't mean that I have to do it.
Right.
So, but I'm also that chick that if I get to your house and it's a flowery plate sitting over there because sister down the block done brought you a cake and you had the audacity to eat that cake, we're going to have some problems. Like, you can't expect me to cook, but at the same time, you can't eat somebody else's cooking because no, that don't work for me. So
the whole cooking thing, if he was like, babe, I don't have any more clean underwear, I'd be like, well, did you forget to stop and get some more Tide Pods? And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's things that those traditional gender roles from back in the day, I can't do those, but a lot of them I can do, meaning I don't mind cooking. I don't mind cleaning. I don't mind, doing the most for the children. I don't mind. But if it's expected of me, that's kind of where, because here's the line. I can do it I'm going to do it whether you're here or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cook whether you're here or not. So of course I want you to be able to eat. What was that, DJ? I agree with all of you. I just think people have to understand no one's perfect. I totally do agree with that. And if you know what, I believe that you should be able to get your back rubbed. And women, you should do
it don't cost more than $40.
Well, no, you should do like me. Amazon sells this little back massage thing. All you got to do is hold it, and you just go right up and down. And you don't have to look. Your fingers don't get tired.
No, he can't eat her pound cake. I cook. My grandmother taught my mama taught me. We cook. It ain't a box of Jiffy in there. It ain't whatever that gladiola mix. Ain't none of that in there. When you open my cabinet, you're gonna see ingredients. I cook. I wish he would.
Girl, I'll be too busy saying, is it good? Or can you ask her if she can make another one for next weekend to go with my child? I'm a little different. As long as she didn't do no voodoo to it to try to get him over there, then we'll because women, they get to reading books. And
look, don't be accepting no pound cake after December 21st.
What skills do we acquire as women then to make us attractive to a man? Like, if you're saying that you don't want to expect it of you to be able to cook, to be able to clean, those are the skills that we naturally have. And if we can't provide something that a man, actually wants, then what is our skill set that would attract them?
But wait, how do you know that that's all a man wants, though? Because why is it not your personality? Why is it not your drive, your career? You might be a really nurturing
your personality
person.
And drive is what attracts him. But she's saying, what are those traits that keep him, the sustainability?
The same expectations of a man. If you notice, every single woman still has the same traditional expectation of a man, for them to provide, for them to do things for you, for them to pick up the slack where you may fail. We have the same expectations. So what do you think a man expects of you?
Okay, let me go back. He can expect it, but it's how he delivers that expectation. Don't be an ass about it. Don't come in the house and just because I cook every day, be a butt because on one day I don't feel good and I haven't cooked. Now, if I haven't cooked in a week or so, hey, but what's going on? Why haven't you cooked? What's wrong? Is there something that we need to talk about? Am I not doing, find a way to communicate. But if you walk in the house on a Saturday and I've cooked Sunday to Sunday and I took that one day off, don't come at me sideways why you didn't cook, because that's not gonna happen. What did he say?
He said they fix stuff, basically traditional male values. Like they have the same thought process. They know that they can put some stuff together. They know they can carry the grocery bags. They know they can protect their home. Those are 3 things that have not changed through society. Through the dawn of time, they know their role. It has not changed.
But I think what DJ said is the truth.
Without telling a lot of my business, I think a lot of the men that we're talking about are kind of men that have some of our mentality. When I was out there dating not too long ago, you would be surprised.
You would be shocked
that I ran into. I have had dudes who think that their job is to come in my house and put their feet on my table. And because I earned more, I'm still supposed to pay the bills. And all they're supposed to do is sling ping. And I thought
I was gonna be single forever because I was smart.
I swear.
It literally came out of his mouth that because I had a degree and I was working on my second master's, I was gonna be by myself forever because didn't no black man want no woman smarter than him.
One dude even had the nerve to get upset with me because he told me I was selfish because I bought my son some J's for when school started. And he was like, I like J's. Why didn't you get me some J's or something like that? So some of these grown boys, they kind of have a different mentality. So I feel like,
but I think DJ said it best. He said men want someone they can have sex with and someone they can build with. This was a very, very recent conversation that was brought about because of last week's show, me not knowing that I wasn't completely single. That was one of the things that he said. That's what I'm looking for. I know there's some bum women out there.
There are a lot of bum women. I agree. Women who think that they just have to show up and men are supposed to give them money and buy them bags and do this for them and they don't have to do anything in return. And this kind of goes back to a comment that was made much earlier. In order for a true relationship to work and last, you have to have open communication and you have to know what's expected from both parties. You can't just like that particular guy who got upset because I didn't buy him some J's. I told him if I did buy him, you better not ever wear them because I would never in my life. He did nothing for me. He was just attractive. Let me be honest. He was attractive and we'll leave it at that.
We've all had it.
Yes, we have.
Bring nothing to the table that would make him like a great partner. You see what I never thought of him like that. But in his mind, he thought he could be a great partner just because he was a man. And a lot of us want that traditional man, just like a lot of us want to be in some ways that traditional woman, except for now we can also bring income to the table as well as you. And sometimes we're not super women like our grandmothers. I always thought my grandma was a superwoman when it came to like my grandfather and things like that, just because she was always Johnny on the spot for whatever he needed and things like that. And he was her priority. Now he may have had 1 or 2 other women in the community, but that was that old school stuff too. We're just not, we're not made like that anymore. I'm not made like that. I'm not going to wear myself thin and be tired making sure you, like Lamar was saying, making sure your feet are rubbed, your back is rubbed, your water's ran, and I got to go to work and pay the bills and do the kids and do your laundry and all you do is take out the garbage. Boy, please.
I think you have to know how to love that person because the guy I'm talking to now, his love language is straight provision. He feels like if I need something, I need to tell him I need it. He gonna get it. If I had a bad day, I can text and vent all day long. I can send a 1-word text or 5 or 6 texts, full. And at the end of both of those texts, he is going to say, what do you want me to do about it? Let's see. He's not going to sit there and have no conversation with me all day about it. He ain't going to, girl, what you want me to do? And that, again, that speaks to that action energy that Rue was talking about. How am I going to fix it? That's his energy. That's how he loves me. And at first I was like, that's rude. You won't even have a conversation with me. But then I had to realize that's not how he was brought up. That's not the roles that he do. That's what he saw his father do. He provided. So to him, as long as the bills are paid and he coming home, them are his gender roles.
Yeah.
I get that. And I'm like, I do have more, I guess maybe more so of a traditional marriage. Like we do kind of stick by the same traditional roles, except I am Superwoman. Like he knows that if there's a spark plug that he can't reach on the car, he knows my little ass will get up there and help him. He knows that if he needs to change his brake pads, I can do it. I'm mechanically inclined. I cook. I can clean. I can pretty much. I'm supposed to be doing everything that he needs help on. So like I said, building. Like they'll find a woman they'll build with, and that is what I was raised by example with my grandparents, because my mom was single and she was gay. So I didn't have that example with her, but my grandparents been married over 30 years, and I saw the role that my grandma took, and she was Superwoman. And so I felt like in a relationship that you are supposed to be Superwoman, and wherever he's lacking, you're supposed to make up the difference. So I'm not understanding the new generation of women where they feel like they can critique everything that their dude does. There are some things that I can't stand that he does, but I feel like as a partner, okay, if I know that I don't like something about him, then I'll just do something myself. Like I'm not even gonna cause myself that unnecessary suffering when I know I can get it done on my own, So if you're looking for, I know y'all are single and dating. So if you're looking for someone, how do you know what's your equivalent if you are doing all these things? Like you're more than capable of doing everything yourself. How do you know what the partnership is? How do you know how to be someone's other half?
Straight communication, getting to know each other.
That's it.
Straight communication, not rushing into it, not jumping into everything head first, taking a little bit of time to get to know each other. I think that's where we mess up a lot in relationships. We do things so fast. We're like, and we don't have to. I think that's where we mess up.
My partners, I need to know when you walk in the room, by the way you come in that room, how your day was. If I don't know you that well, then we can't be intimate. I need to be intimate with you without my fully dressed before we get intimate and we're naked. So if you come in my house and you sit down and I come in and your countenance is off, then I'm going to be like, okay, something's going on. I don't want just a superficial relationship. I need to know what's going on the inside. And that takes time. So me dating in 2020, I find myself single more than I am committed to someone, because there's not a lot of men that still think and feel the same way I do. I've found myself that I date a lot of older men because men my age are used to microwave dating. I met you at the club at 11 o'clock. We exchanged numbers at 12. We having sex at 3. I don't hear from you again for 2 weeks. Now work for me. If that's what you want to do, go do it. We all had our whole stage. I done grew out of mine. That's not me anymore.
Right.
Totally agree.
Okay.
Well, ladies, I hear we may be getting another $600 stimulus check, one for each adult, and I think it's like $600 per child.
Wait, was it $600 last time? I thought it was 12.
It was 12.
It was 12 last time.
They've cut it in half. I personally think that I don't want to say I don't really think it's too late, but I think that they really missed the mark on this one. I think that this pandemic has already affected the lives drastically for so many people. And I feel like shame on Congress for not getting this together like way before now. And also shame on them for thinking $600 is going to do anything for people. For some people, that's not even your car note. It's definitely not your mortgage or your rent. $600 is the equivalent of what we were talking about, $40. It don't do nothing. It don't do nothing. You know,
y'all know that y'all have to pay that back, right? It comes out of your
and that. And it's kind of one of those, is it free? Is it really free? What do you ladies think about this extremely late $600 stimulus that we're getting now?
I think it's a disgrace. You didn't get your first one yet?
No.
Wow, that's trash. And you know what? You're not the only person that I know that is in that situation. And apparently, so my friend actually called the IRS, and even if you didn't receive it, it was issued, so they are still taking it out of your taxes, out of your tax return.
Well,
apparently.
Taxes, so.
What?
She's like, period. I think it's a disgrace, and you know, I think if there was ever any doubt about what our government thinks of its people and the regard that it holds its people in and the values of our government, all doubt has been cleared, because I just don't, again, AOC, I was watching her on TikTok or Instagram or something. She was talking about how it's so difficult for them to get anything through the House, because every time they try to push something through, the other side asks for something in return, even if it's the right thing to do for people. Well, if I give this stimulus, then we need to do these big business protections, so like it's I feel like a pawn in a chess game, to be honest with you. It's terrible. And I feel really bad for people who have lost their jobs, have lost their homes. I mean,
$600.
My organization is a nonprofit organization, and if you're over a level 4.5, you have to raise 50% of your salary. Every year, our organization as a whole raises $2.5 to $4 million. This year, we cleared $821,000. So that meant across the board.
Wow.
If you were a 6 and above, your income was cut at 30%. 4 to 6 were cut at 50. I'm a 4.9. So my salary has been sliced in half. Like no joke at all. And not to put all my business out there, my insurance payment for me and my 3 children is $1,150 a month. Then I have rent, mortgage, car notes. I don't get food stamps. We don't get Medicaid. If I don't go to work, my children do not eat. Wow. So I'm one of those people who it trickled down, and I'm catching all the shit. Like Corona really screwed us. No joke at all. See, he said 15. I said 50 and half. Wow. So if you were making $100 an hour, now you make $50 an hour. But here's the bad thing about that. Even though my income was cut, my bills ain't went nowhere.
Your bills, right.
They've actually increased because Irving is so dang on stupid. You let the kids go back to school. Now they done came home because of every other week if somebody's sick with COVID. You're not cleaning these schools right. So my light bill is going up. My grocery bill is going up. My children are not small. My son just turned 15. He is 5'10", 240, 50 pounds. My 14-year-old is 5'11". I don't have little bitty kids.
She is a bad girl. That's super mom.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what am I supposed to do?
Wow.
And here's the sad part. They said, okay, go down and apply for government assistance. Because the way our charter is set up and we can't go out and get donations, I qualify for 0. Right. But I'm still paying into every single one of them initials on my check. Wow. Every one of them getting a piece.
So I want to piggyback on the unemployment. They told us that we could file for unemployment during the whole quarantine and stuff. Yeah. So I didn't file like right away. I waited till I got back to work. And when I did try to file for the unemployment for those periods, they jacked that mess up so bad that I didn't get it. I was just like, forget it. I'm not even going to try. Luckily I'm more fortunate than a lot of other people because my husband's military. So but he was furloughed too. He was on 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Like everybody suffered because of it. We just, look, I'm frugal. I done figured out how to juggle 6 kids and work on $50. I'm good. But there are other people that I understand that wasn't, that's really hard, and it's still going into now. And then we're about to go into January, where we might get shut down again. And I think in your state, aren't you shut down, Courtney?
No, we're not shut down 100%, but they are pulling a lot of those restrictions. They're going like back into the restrictions. So like,
the beauty industry, we get shut down first.
Yeah. So I mean, no, we're still open here, but I'll be honest with you, I can't imagine that we're gonna be open past like maybe mid-January. Like I feel like they're just trying to get all that Christmas income in and the gift cards, redemptions and things like that. Once that happens, I think we'll be shut back down again as well.
I think we're headed for a shutdown because Clay Jenkins cannot stand Abbott, and if Abbott says stay open, Jenkins gonna say shut them down. So I
notice how after that whole quarantine, how Walmart got remodeled, Target had remodeling.
They all got funding.
Corporations remodeled everything, and I'm like, how the hell you get that money? And we stuck with just $600. Or wait, hold on, I didn't get nothing.
Yeah, so, right, $0.
Got $600. Or
they all got funding. They all got government funding, but the small businesses who needed this money the most weren't able to get it because by the time they were in line for it, they were out of funds. But it went to these larger corporations, and they were able to get it. Your Ruth Chris and people like that getting millions of dollars, and then your little mom and pop ones in the communities, there's no money left over. And if they were able to get money, it wasn't an actual money. It was more like a loan that they had to pay back later. So they weren't given.
And you have to account for every penny of that loan because we got a PPE loan. We have to account.
I can't stand Joel saying Lamar. I can't stand him. I don't like to wish anything bad on anybody who claims he loves God, but I hope his church burns to the ground and they can't find the insurance papers when it's time to rebuild it. I can't stand him.
Yeah, he's gross.
He is one of many false prophets, but that's a whole nother subject. But I can't stand him. I can't. But anyway.
Stimulus or not, I don't see it getting any better. I don't see how they expect $600 to help us out. I really wish they would come back into the community. Some of them never been here, but just come and spend a month because they ain't gonna do it. Spend a month. Give them what I want them to do is take my salary with 3 children, 1 in college, 2 in high school. Wow. Take my salary and just my current bills, like wipe the slate clean, start everything at 0. And then at the end of that 31 days, give them my checkbook and say, you got to pay all of that, or how you going to work that? Which one not going to get paid? How you going to put a percentage on this? And then what you going to cook every day? Because you can't eat out every day. To take my children out, I'm spending $55 to $60. I don't have $60 a day. And then after we go out to eat and get home, by 8 o'clock, they hungry again.
That's ridiculous.
Our government don't care about us.
And I hope they think of something after the fact. And I know it's just wishful thinking and they want, but just a positive closing, I guess. I hope they think of something to do to help rebuild this government and rebuild, the communities and help, people rebuild those businesses that were lost as a result of this, and also do something with the school system to all these kids who have been negatively affected by it mentally and with their grades and the whole nine. Like something different has to happen after this is all said and done. Any other final remarks from you ladies on it? I know it's sad, but any other final thoughts?
I'll check in with y'all tomorrow and let you know what my superpower was.
I'm staying woke. I'm staying woke to wait for mine. And DJ, yeah.
Yeah, and y'all make sure to watch, the gentlemen of BTP. They're going to be talking about generational wealth on Tuesday. So make sure you catch that. There'll be a lot of good knowledge in that. I'll definitely make sure I catch that one myself. And also, we appreciate everyone who's watching and engaging. We would appreciate you hitting that like and subscribe button and letting everybody know that we're popping over here at Ladies POV. Once again, thank you. And I want to wish everyone a happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Celebrating this week. And until next time, be blessed. Good night.
Night.